Welcome into a Week 7 edition of Buffalo Bills Weekly, where we give you the 411 on everything going on at One Bills Drive. He's Chris Brown, I'm Maddy Glab. In this week's episode, we'll take a look at Buffalo's new offensive weapon, flip the page to Week 7, and WWE star and Titans fan Sheamus helps us preview Sunday's matchup against Tennessee. Chris, after back-to-back losses, the Bills are back in the win column, and they're back at home. After 3 straight weeks on the road, how excited are you for a home 1 o'clock game?
I think I'm more excited about the 1 o'clock than anything else, but it's hard to believe the Bills have not played at home since September 23rd, and it feels even longer than that. It's only been 3 weeks. It feels like 3 months.
Buffalo has a new playmaker. Wide receiver Amari joins the Bills via a trade with Cleveland on Tuesday. The Bills are through more than a third of the season. General manager Brandon Beane wanted to add some more firepower to help Buffalo's offense as a whole. Cooper is a contested catch receiver. He's a separator, somebody who's been in the NFL for 10 years. He knows ball and has at least 1,000 yards in 7 seasons. Chris, how does a 5-time Pro Bowler like Cooper help this offense?
Yeah, I mean, he's a crafty veteran receiver. He knows how to work leverage against the defense. I think the other thing he does really good are his releases. They've been good since he was at Alabama 10 years ago. He just knows how to get off of press coverage, press man. Tennessee plays a fair amount of that, and the Bills have seen a lot of man coverage through the first part of the season here, and until the Bills show they can consistently defeat that, they're going to see more of it. Cooper helps in that area, and then on top of that, he knows how to set up defenders through the course of a game. He'll give them same route looks all game long, and then change them late in the game when you have a gotta have it type down.
We heard from offensive coordinator Joe Brady earlier this week, and he said Cooper is going to help this offense as a whole because he's going to draw attention from defenders. So that means players like Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid may get more open because defenders have to be aware of this veteran receiver on the field.
Yeah, and if people are still wondering, well, he's 30 years old, can he still do it? Last year was his career high in receiving yards, 1,250, and he did it with 2 quarterbacks who, at least in my opinion, are of lesser status than the one he's going to be playing with now.
After weeks of injuries, Buffalo's defense is finally getting healthier. Nickel cornerback Taron Johnson returned to the lineup last week against the Jets after being out for 4 straight weeks due to a forearm injury. Safety Taylor Rapp also returned after missing a week due to a concussion. Those guys were playmakers against the Jets. Johnson had an incredible game-changing interception to help seal the victory. Rapp led the way with 3 passes defense and also saved a touchdown in the second half of the game. The defense is just better with these players on the field.
Well, it helps when you have your starters, don't you? I mean, they didn't have 5 starters in Houston on the defensive side of the ball 2 weeks ago. They get 2 of them back. And what a difference, right? I mean, those 2 guys tie for the team lead in tackles in the win over the Jets. And there's something about Taylor Rapp that I see as different in his game. I think he finally feels comfortable in his role as a starter, a leader on the back end. There's a newfound confidence to his game. And to your point, yes, the touchdown saving tackle on Breece Hall at the 4-yard line. Bills defense forces a field goal. He also separates Garrett Wilson from a football in the end zone. And instead of the Jets getting a touchdown there, they only get a field goal. It's a 3-point game at the end of the night. So big plays by him. And then Taron, I don't know if there's a better nickel corner in the run front. At 192 pounds, the things he does in the run front when he's got guards running at him, he's able to slip blocks, make plays. He's just really, really good.
We are just getting started, so don't go anywhere. Coming up, we'll tell you what Buffalo's offense needs to do against the best pass defense in the NFL, and you'll hear some of the best sound from this week's press conferences.
When we return, Maddy Glab interviews WWE star Sheamus in this week's episode of You Heard. And then later, catch the press conference highlights in Soundbite Roundup.
What's the crack? This is WWE superstar, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus, and you just heard.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of You Heard, where we showcase athletes, influencers, and celebrities with their NFL fandom. Today, we've got 4-time world champion WWE star Sheamus joining us, who's a huge Titans fan. He's going to help us preview this big game against the Titans in Week 7. But Sheamus, first, you're recording this from Paris. What are you up to in France?
Yeah, I'm over here with the wife. We got married 2 years ago. They haven't even had a honeymoon yet because my schedule in WWE is so hectic. So we got a couple of days on the calendar free. So yeah, we arrived this morning. So if I just start putting matchsticks here to keep my eyelids open, don't take any offense with it, right? You know what I mean? It's just be one of those days.
Well, we appreciate the time, even though you're probably super jet lagged. Awesome to hear that you have a little bit of time off, because we know as athletes, especially following our players, time off does not come often. Getting back to the Titans, a tough start to the season for them, but defensively, they're the best defense in the NFL right now in yards they're allowing per game, also the best pass defense. How have you been impressed watching their games with what the defense can do, and how the defense also keeps them in games?
Yeah, I think it's very impressive. I think because in the past, we had Henry and AJ Brown. I'm wrong here. I think I'm just going. We got rid of him. He went to the Eagles 2 years ago, and then obviously losing Derek was massive blow. Like he's a cult hero in Nashville, in Tennessee, and he's a major player for a lot of our success over the last couple of seasons and making the playoffs. So it's kind of switched around now, obviously, where the defense are kind of like the star and the star and kind of players and all this. So it's been great, and I know like we are 1-4. The Bears game, I thought we had that in the bag, and then we lost it. And then obviously Colts on Sunday, I thought we were actually going to get another W. You know what I mean? I thought we were going to be like going to get our second win after the Miami game, and that didn't happen. I was at the Green Bay game when I put the sword in the stone. But we came up short there as well. We just, offensively, we're just not there this season, and it's really costing us, because as much as a great defense we have too, and they are playing exceptionally well. If you're not, they need time to recover too. They need time to rest, and then if the offenses aren't firing on all cylinders, the defense find themselves on the field a lot more than they should.
This defense gets to face a Bills team who just got another win in week 6 against the Jets. They're at the top of the AFC East. What are your thoughts about this matchup?
Uh, I'll be saying a lot of rosary. I'll be saying the rosary a few times to be honest on this one. Look, I think the Bills are an incredible team. They have been for the last couple of seasons. There some people they were I feel they're unlucky not to be Super Bowl champions at this stage. I feel as a team are still trying to find ourselves, especially offensively. But this again, it's another game, it's another opportunity for the team to kind of like just find themselves, start to try and gel better than they have been. And it's a great test. I'm always the optimistic person. You got to go out there no matter what the situation is to win. Try everything you can to win the game. But this is probably going to be the hardest game we've had since the season started. So I'll be watching. And as I said, but again, this is what's great about NFL. The NFL is like anything can happen. Obviously, you Bills fans don't want to hear that, but it's like anything can happen. Underdogs can shine. They could hit it off. But I just want to see a competitive game out of the Titans. I want to see that they're going in the right direction, that they're pulling together, and they're going to do everything they can to make it probably the most difficult game of the season for the Bills.
We'll be right back on You Heard. Stay tuned. Our quarterback, Josh Allen, likes to make life hard for opposing defenses, and he's a quarterback where even if you don't follow every single NFL game, there are going to be plays that are out there on the internet that Allen just has because he's that superstar quarterback. What sets him apart from other quarterbacks in your eyes?
I just think consistency. Like you hear a lot about these quarterbacks lately as well. There's a lot of young quarterbacks that have come through in the league, and they'll get a lot of press in the first couple of games or halfway through the season. They'll be firing on, and it's Josh has showed that he's just so consistent over so many seasons. And yeah, like every Sunday, or you'll see like a highlight reel just of him and what he can do and how he can pull passes. just impossible, which should be impossible plays. He just pulls out these passes that just they come out of nowhere, and it's very hard to defend against someone like that when you just don't know what he's doing, because his brain is just on it's just, it works in a different level to everyone else's, especially when he's on the field playing ball. So yeah, he's incredible, and to watch him is insane. Like I couldn't throw American football. I could go the old rugby pass, you know what I'm saying? But that way that ball just gets zinged all over the place is mad. People talk about Mahomes and everything, and obviously Mahomes has been hugely successful with all the Super Bowls he's won. But like Josh is every week he's out there just performing and wearing his heart in his sleeve and just producing outstanding performances. He doesn't have an off day. He doesn't. I don't think he has an off day at all. And I know the Bills. I know you guys love him up there, which rightly so. You want to send him down to Tennessee? No, ask him to see he wants to go to Nashville. Tell him there's a good nightlife down there. You know what I mean? Broadway. You know what I'm saying? And we don't get that cold weather like you guys do up at the around like December, January. I don't know how you guys deal with that weather, man. It's insane.
Well, speaking of that cold weather, I mean, you've made trips to Buffalo for WWE. What are some of your memories of being in Buffalo?
Mm. What I like about it is it's so close. I mean, obviously Niagara Falls is incredible to go up there. You got some of the greatest scenery in the country. And then obviously you got a lot of rowdy Canadian fans as well coming across the border as well. So you kind of got, you got the best of both worlds up there. But I've had some memorable moments. I've also had the bad moments where I lost the US title to former wrestler Rusev up there. But generally it's, I've always enjoyed it. The crowd are great. Most of every Christmas we do a loop where we just do 7 days. We go from anywhere from New York to Pittsburgh, Chicago. Buffalo's always on the list. So it's just that around that time, the only issue is, are you going to get out of Buffalo to get home for New Year's Eve? That's the biggest thing, depending on the weather.
Spin the dial. Is it going to work?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to make it out this time. I don't know. But I've driven to New York from Buffalo a couple of times because it was a couple of hairy situations there with just some mad weather coming in, and I had to get down to New York, and people were waiting on flights that just didn't take off until like 5 o'clock the next day. So I've done that. I've driven in the snow up there. It's mad, but it's something else I can add to the bucket list. But yeah, hopefully one day I'll get up to Buffalo. I really want to get up there. I want to get to the Bills Stadium and I want to experience those sub-zero temperatures.
Bills Mafia, we're always accepting people to come out and tailgate, experience it for yourself. It's okay if you cheer for another team. Come out and see what the tailgating is like, because it's a sight to be seen.
It's awesome, man. It's good to see. But yeah, fingers crossed. I mean, we're up there for a show. Make sure to try and get all of you to the show as well.
Well, Sheamus, enjoy your time in Paris, and best of luck in this Week 7 matchup against the Bills. We'll see what happens, but we appreciate you helping us preview this matchup and talk a lot about your WWE career.
I appreciate the time. Thanks for having me on. All right. Either way, let's hope this match is good. No matter win, lose, or draw, let's hope this match is going to be a banger and keeps everybody entertained.
I like it. Thanks, Sheamus.
When we return, catch the highlights from this week's press conferences in Soundbite Roundup.
I'm still taking it all in a little bit, getting traded in the middle of the season. It's definitely a fast turnaround. So I don't know if I've had enough time to really process it, but at the end of the day, it's just football. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's a well-respected guy for what he's done in the league. As long as he's been part of the pre-draft process when I was in Carolina, I got to spend some time with him, and he's very football smart. He's he's probably not going to be a long interview for you guys when you get to talk to him, but he loves ball, and he's very, very smart. Outside perimeter receiver, not that he can't play inside, but very good route runner, smooth. He can stretch the field vertically. I think he was high 4.3s when he came out.
Again, he's multiple 1,000-yard receiver. He's multiple Pro Bowl guy. We've got a few teammates that have been teammates with him before and just raved about him as a guy, as a character. So excited to have him in our locker room, and he'll fit in quite nicely here.
Yeah, I was actually asleep. I was asleep for like 3 hours, and then my wife woke me up because if I sleep too long, I'll be up all night. So she's like, you need to get up. And he's like, oh, also, y'all just traded for Amari Cooper. And, man, I was stoked, to be able to – I've been fortunate enough to play with some pretty good receivers, Diggs, Gabe, Beasley, those guys. So now him. I'm excited to watch him in action and learn from him.
Just being me. I've been playing this game for a long time, obviously long before the NFL. I think I have a good feel for the game. Just got to go out there and, like I said before, it's just football, go out there, know your assignment, and just play freely.
Yeah, Amari's a great guy. Again, he's been in the league for many years now. He's been monstrous over the times he's been in the league and the teams he's been on. So it'd be cool to just be able to watch him, watch him work, watch him compete each and every day to become the best person he can. So, I'm very curious to see what he's going to bring to the team.
The route running that he possesses, the ability to separate from defenders, I think his contested catch ability is through the roof. You throw that into a room with a guy like Keon and Matt Collins, two other guys that are very good at contested catches, and then you have Khalil and Curtis obviously kind of underneath and able to mix him around. He can play the slot, he can play outside, you can move him around. So again, just getting him involved in this offense and just trying to see what we can do with him.
Welcome back into Buffalo Bills Weekly. Week 7 on deck for Buffalo. They're facing the Tennessee Titans, who are 1-4 to start the season. Their defense is keeping them in these games. 3 of their 4 losses have been by 7 points or less. They've got the best pass defense in the NFL, allowing just 137 passing yards per game. Quarterbacks are completing just 56% of their passes against Tennessee. That's the 3rd lowest in the NFL. Chris, why is this Titans pass defense so strong?
Yeah, they've invested in the back end of their defense. They made a shrewd signing in free agency going after L'Jarius Sneed, who they signed away from Kansas City, arguably one of the best cover corners in football. And then they see an opportunity and they seize it. Seattle cuts Quandre Diggs, a veteran safety, as a salary cap casualty, and they sign him to a 1-year deal for just $5 million. That's an absolute steal. He's a ball hawk. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions in his career, but man, the guy is always knocking passes down. He's got like 29 pass breakups in the last 4 seasons. It's a guy that Josh Allen's going to really have to know where he is in the scope of the defense, because he will sneak up on you and knock one out of the air or maybe even take one the other way.
Buffalo has faced a lot of top 10 defenses so far to start the season. It's actually their 5th straight week against a top 10 defense. And offensive coordinator Joe Brady said, in a short week, we can't overthink it. We have to make this game about ourselves and what we do best. Speaking of what the Bills do best, how can a new receiver like Amari Cooper help against the best pass defense in the NFL?
Well, you would assume his package of plays might be limited this week,
Right.
but I think on 3rd downs, red zone, he's going to be on the field to help them, and hopefully he's on the field enough to maybe force Tennessee to roll coverage his way, knowing his playmaking ability. That creates other opportunities for the rest of the guys in the receiving corps. So hopefully he pulls coverage his way, and there's more one-on-one matchups for the other guys.
Here's something fun about Cooper. In 2023, he led the NFL in receptions and receiving yards on targets within 2 yards of the sideline. Our quarterback Josh Allen does some of his nastiest, most jaw-dropping work near the sideline.
Yeah.
I think these two, it's going to be a fun match to watch.
Yeah, and he's got great feet too. Like we've been talking about his hands and his route running ability. He's got toe drag swag for sure.
Definitely. Well, second-year quarterback Will Levis is not having the season that the Titans expected out of him. He's struggling to make plays. They're the 2nd worst offense in the NFL, averaging just 253 yards per game. Levis also has thrown 7 interceptions, the most in the NFL. He hasn't been good against pressure, but their rushing offense has been the one bright spot about this offense. How do the Bills keep a struggling offense in check?
It's the cliche thing, make them one-dimensional. So, look, I really like Tony Pollard as a running back. He's a multi-dimensional threat. I think that's the guy you really got to key on here. And if you can neutralize him, that puts the burden of the offensive game on Will Levis, and that's right where you want it, because Levis is still struggling with his decision-making. He hasn't reached that next level of quarterbacking, I don't think. So let's keep him there, right? Like, just put the whole game on him, make him feel like he's got to do a couple of extra things to help them in the game. And if you do that, you're going to get him to give one to you. Maybe two, maybe three. But that's what you got to do. Put the game on Levis. He'll make a mistake. Take advantage.
It would be fun to see the defense get a couple takeaways, give the ball back to our quarterback, Josh Allen, because it's his 100th career start on Sunday against the Titans. Just another milestone that this guy's passing.
Yeah, and look, he already passed Patrick Mahomes for most offensive touchdowns in your first 7 years of a career. He is the record holder already, and there's a lot more to year 7 left for Josh, so more records to break, more records to set.
You can catch the game this Sunday, October 20th on CBS and Paramount+. Chris will be on the radio with the call, so to hear him and Bills legend Eric Wood, you can listen to WGR 550. We want to thank you for tuning in to Buffalo Bills Weekly. For Chris Brown, I'm Maddy Glab. We'll see you next week.